Hi, I'm Blake Gray, and I'm here today with Jesse Katz. He is the founder and winemaker of Aperture, and he is a high school friend of Justin Biel, which is how he met Jessica Biel, Justin's sister, and that's how he ended up making wedding wine for both Justin Biel and for Jessica Biel and Justin Timberlake. Too many Justins in the story. So anyway, Jesse, thanks for being with me today, and tell me about making these wedding wines.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Sure, yeah, these have been really fun projects throughout my career that I've really enjoyed, and I've made a few different wedding wines, but the two that we're going to highlight today are the ones that, this was actually the first wedding wine that I ever had made. This is the wedding wine for Jessica Biel and Justin Timberlake. And everything's custom in here as far as the blend. They were part of all the blending process. The label, I know it's hard to see in these digital formats, but this is a label that one of Jess and Justin's friends painted that they actually have in their home. And the painting is called Blue Ocean Floor. And for those who know JT's 2020 Experience album, the last song on it is called Blue Ocean Floor, which is what we named this blend after. And Blue Ocean Floor is a song about Jessica. And so a lot of details in this. They were a part of all the blending process. Like I said, the painting is something that they actually have.
What was that like? What was it like blending wine with them?
Well, I've been really fortunate to got to know both Jess and Justin throughout the years. I've known Jess for a while through her brother, Justin Biel, who's one of my best friends. But as Jessica and JT started to get more and more serious, it was a lot of fun because we were all really into snowboarding. We would go on multiple different snowboard trips together. And Justin, both of them, but Justin and his family are really into wine. And so we've gotten to drink a lot of different wines throughout the years. They've been gracious enough to kind of pop open some amazing bottles throughout the years. And I've tried to bring in some of the unique wines from Aperture, double proof in the setting for them as well, to showcase some of the stuff that I was making for them and that they've collected throughout the years, throughout my entire career. And when they came to me, Justin and Jess asked if I was if I'd serve the wine at their wedding, and I kind of created this idea of making a very, very specific blend just for them. And so it was a lot of fun of having their palates. I kind of knew them through their palates throughout the year of what they liked and some of the subtleties. And so I put a few different blends together, and then we kind of whittled it down and made one specific barrel just for them.
Let's play National Enquirer here. What is Justin Timberlake's and Jessica Biel's palate? What are they like?
They've got great palates. They certainly like richer styles of wine, which have a lot of fruit and a lot of structure to them, but at the same time, they like a lot of nuance as well. It's not just these massive fruit bombs. They like richness in fruit, but elegance as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now you had something of a challenge getting this wine to Italy to get to well, first of all, the wedding was supposed to happen originally in California, right?
Originally it was going to be at Meadowood, but due to paparazzi, they changed it and moved it to Italy. And so the logistics of getting it into Italy, bringing a California wine into Italy to serve at their wedding, had some complications. But thankfully, with Justin having a couple planes fly over there, that we were able to get some cases on those planes, and that's how it was brought into Italy.
Cool. And then you also made a wedding wine for the Justin Biel, your best friend from high school.
Yeah. Justin Biel, one of my best friends. I was honored to be the best man in his wedding. And actually at the table that I'm sitting on, at my dining room table right now, Jessica and JT came out to visit me once we were building the new Aperture winery, once I purchased this property. And we also wanted to create, again, a unique barrel to surprise Justin Biel and his wife Rose for their wedding. And so similar mentality of creating this unique blend, and it was a few of us at the table, and we ended up creating this label called Poet and Prophet, because Justin Biel is an amazing writer. His wife Rose is an amazing shaman, and that's where the Poet and Prophet came from. And if you can see, we have their names on the back. And this label was actually designed by the amazing label designer artist Ellen Riondo, based here in Healdsburg, and she just created this really unique thing, and it says created with love by Jessica, Justin, and Jesse. And this was a 2015 Alexander Valley Cabernet blend that we decided to, Justin Beal and Rose got married in La Paz, Mexico. So it's a little warmer. And so we added a little bit more Merlot in this blend to kind of soften it out a little bit. And similar circumstance, trying to get wine into Mexico at the last minute was not easy. So was fortunate. I went to one of JT's shows. The next day we loaded up about 10 cases of wine on the plane, flew into Mexico, and that's how we got the wines into the wedding.
Nice. And now you actually hold the Guinness Book of World Records record for the most expensive new release bottle of wine. Is that correct?
Well, it's the most expensive 750 classic style bottle of wine ever sold. And it sold for $350,000, and honor to all of it went to charity. And this was for another private label that I did under another brand that I'm a partner in called The Setting, which we've done a lot of amazing labels from Ellen DeGeneres, Super Bowl MVP Von Miller, Tony Hawk, LA Lakers, and so on. All of them having a charitable element surrounding them. We've, in the last 5 years, under The Setting wines alone, we've raised over $1 million for different charity foundations. The one you're speaking of is this one right here, called The Setting for Shep Gordon. And for those who don't know Shep, he is a fascinating character and has become a good friend. And Shep is the mastermind behind the identity of celebrity chefs. Early on in his career, he's really been involved in part of the culture of mainstream art for the last 40 years. And he managed people like Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Alice Cooper, and the list goes on. But later on in his career, he really had this idea of bringing the chefs from the back of the house to the front of the house, showing these unique personalities and identities. And chefs like Emeril Lagasse, Wolfgang Pucks were some of his first clients.
Shep is the guy behind Boom.
Behind Boom, exactly. Behind a lot of different booms, but yes, that one in particular. And Emerald gives a lot of his success and thanks to Shep. And during Emerald's biggest fundraiser called Carnival de Vin that happens in New Orleans every year, we'll see if it happens this year. If it doesn't happen this year, we'll come up with something unique. It's normally in November every year. So fingers crossed we can do something. But anyhow, every year in the past, and this was 2 years ago, and I made this bottling for Shep, and one barrel, so about 300 bottles, and he gave most of it out to kind of his A-list friends for holiday gifts, and there's 3 bottles left, and he gave one to Emerald to auction off for his charity. And it ended up setting the Guinness Book of World Records and selling for $350,000, 100% of that going to charitable funds for children.
I think that our readers just have to know, what does a $350,000 bottle of wine taste like?
Well, this is a really, really fun, unique one. This comes from one of my favorite vineyards called SJ Ranch up at the top of Chalk Hill Road in Alexander Valley, right next to Verite on Thomas Road there at the very top. So it's kind of the southeastern corner of Alexander Valley, one of my favorite areas for hillside Cabernet vineyards, and some of the best terroir on the planet for Cabernet, in my opinion. And this was the first time that we've also had, that Sonoma County has had the Guinness Book of World Records for highest, most expensive bottle of wine ever as well. And this wine is a wine that has a lot of structure, a lot of big fruits. It's more kind of the blue, black fruits, 100% Cabernet. 100% Cabernet from that vineyard. Shep's a huge fan. Shep actually knows a ton about wine and is very passionate and is a huge fan. His favorite wine on the planet, up until this one, of course, was Cheval Blanc. And he loves that Cabernet Franc influence. So we did, it's about 78% Cabernet from that SJ Ranch. And the rest is a Cabernet Franc vineyard, a little bit farther east, more up in the hillsides there, of a Cabernet Franc vineyard. And blending that with Shep really wanted kind of some of that floral, that spice elements that Cabernet Franc lends to that. And that's what makes up the blend, those two different vineyards.
Cool. Well, thanks, Jesse. I know the way that people think in Napa Valley. So now that we know that Sonoma County's in the Guinness Book of Records, I know they're going to be gunning for you. But thanks for joining me today and talk about these wines. This has been Blake Gray with Jesse Katz. Thanks very much.
Great to see you. Thanks so much, Blake.